What's happening, everybody? What's happening? First off, I want to welcome you to Morning Motivation, your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm thrilled to have you join us as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. So whether you're here to seek motivation, connect with like-minded individuals, or simply get your day started on the right foot, you come to the right place. And as you're coming into the door, go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know that you mess with your boy. Let me know you're here. And if you're a first-time visitor, please say hello. I promise we'll say hello back. Also, if you want to buy your boy a cup of coffee, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Let me go ahead and get my shout outs in. Drop you over here. All right, shout out to that chick, yo. Toronto Riggins, Auntie Canada in the building. D-Rob, salute my guy, salute. Hey man, I've had a few comments and a few people have told me that I was kind of on one last show. What was in my coffee? I heard a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And I just want to say, get used to it. Let's see. Do I sound low? Maybe a little bit, bro. Maybe a little bit. Tell you what, I had a long weekend off. Let me readjust a few things. Just in case. But yeah, I've heard, a few comments saying, hey man, what's been going on? And then my guy Marquis came in the building last Wednesday, lit me up just a little bit. Called me out on a few things. But it's all good. You see, I love feedback. But I also love when I'm in a space and I can be my authentic self. So salute to all of you for putting me in this space, for allowing me to be my authentic self. No judgments, just acceptance. Because we all on a journey. We all struggling and striving to find our happy place. In the words of Preacher Paulie, if every day was a sunny day, there was a sunny day. Evil is good. Talk about a $2. See, okay, I ain't gonna start already. So what are we talking about? We started last Wednesday talking about the actual pursuit of happiness. And we're gonna go into what happiness actually looks like. We're gonna go into what happiness looks like for us. And so today, I want to just tell a quick story. It was June 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic. My wife and, where's my phone? My wife and 4 other ladies, all professional women, all mothers, all doing their things and being successful in their industry at a high level. Let's run that back. At a high level. What up, boo? Shout out to the queen. And yes, baby, this show is about you. Not just you, but also your ebony anglers. And I'm gonna get to it. For those of you who don't know, my wife is a part of an all-female. I'm gotta do one thing. I forgot to connect one cable. Hopefully it don't jack me up too much. Sometimes when you start messing with stuff in the middle of your show, it throws a few things off. So yeah, June 2020, the very beginning of the pandemic. My wife received a phone call from one of her work associates, big sisters, or big sister. I don't know, not biologically, but you know how you around somebody for so long and they kind of give you game, they look out for you, they kind of bring you into the family. Well, she called my wife and said, hey, Bobby, would you be interested in joining a fishing team? Because, girl, I was down at this tournament in Morehead City called Big Rock. And I seen all these women falling off of boats, having a good time, laughing. They may or may not have been indulging in some adult beverages, I don't know. But they were catching fish, they were having a good time. It's the pandemic, we kind of locked down. And the only kind of safe space is outdoors. Would you be interested? And those of you who don't know my wife, which most of you don't really know her for real, my wife has never really been the type of girl that likes to play with, bait. She fished as a little girl a few times with her dad, but it never was her thing. But guess what? She was dating a guy who was big into fishing. She was dating a guy who liked camping, who liked being outdoors. But she was also looking for maybe some sisterhood, Sometimes we get so busy in life and we look up one day and it's just work. It's just the immediate things that's going on in our lives. And we want a little bit more. Again, we're talking about the pursuit of happiness. And to be more specific for today's show, we're really focusing in on or trying to lock in on what does happiness or how long will it take my happiness to get here? When will my happiness finally come? Because if you poll people and you ask them, what do you want out of life? Generally, the number one thing you will have is, for ladies, I just want to be happy. Guys will say something like, I just want some peace. They're really the same thing. Really the same thing. Slight differences depending on the person, but in general, they mean the same thing. They mean the same thing, which is why sometimes men and women, we collide in relationships. Beautiful day, no clouds in the sky, just sun and blue skies, and the wind is just a light breeze, just enough to keep the mosquitoes off of you, but not enough to disturb you. And happiness and peace sometimes go to war with each other. This is way off topic, so I'm gonna get out for it real quick. I'm about to go down another rabbit. I'm about to fall down a rabbit hole on that one. So anyway, my wife, she looks at me and then she looks around and says, it's gonna be for the women. It'll be somewhat of a sisterhood. Shout out to the sisterhood. Okay, I'm game. So she goes out and she participates. And so like the following weekend, we all assemble like the Avengers. We go down to the coast. We hop on a boat and we go out to the sound and we're joy and pain, D-Rob. You ain't never lied, bruh. And we go out to the coast and y'all know how y'all going to the beach, the coastal areas, and you cross over this big bridge and it's this body of water that's as far as the eye can see. Well, that's where we were. Not on the ocean side, on the inlet, the sound. And we on the boat and we seeing fish jumping, we seeing dolphins swimming. And then we noticed something. There was people standing like 5 to 10 feet to the side of each boat. They were just standing in the water. It was literally waist deep. And so I asked the guy, I said, wait, how deep is this? He said, about 4 feet. He said, all the water over here is about 4 feet deep. And I'm thinking to myself, this is some new stuff. I ain't never experienced no mess like this. I seen it on TV, but I'm experiencing it now. And so we hop off the boat. We got a couple of beverages in our hands. We're literally sitting in the water as boats are riding by. How incredible is that? A kid from the wrong side of the tracks, or the railroad tracks. The kid who grew up with the house about the same, a little bit bigger than this room I'm in right now. Beyond my wildest dream. But I watched that weekend, I watched 5 women come together, the sisterhood, for a purpose. And then the next weekend was their first tournament. They go out in this tournament, 6 a.m. All the husbands, I was the only boyfriend. All the other 4 girls were married. Me and Bobby weren't married at the time. So I'm the only boyfriend out there with the other 4 husbands. And we say this prayer. They get on the boat. They got this little chant. The captain is a elderly Caucasian gentleman, and he's looking like, what the heck have I gotten myself into? You can see the look on his face like, whew, they excited at 5:30, 6 in the morning. Okay, all right, well, let's see how the day goes. And by 8 a.m., they had hooked into a 49-pound king fish, king mackerel, which won a citation, and it also won them the tournament. So they experienced instant success. They made a decision, they experienced success, and that success, that tournament, led them to being local celebrities. Because one, they were different. They were diverse in the fishing community in that area. Wasn't a lot of black and brown faces out there like that. And these were like real black folk. They weren't the ones you might see on, on a billboard, These were real black folk. They came from very humble beginnings in many respects. They were deep in the culture. We out there on the sound, we got the American flag flying from the boat, but on the other side of the American flag was Black Lives Matter. So we out there with Trump flags and American flags. We were out there with the American flag and Black Lives Matter flag. I mean, no, we were, when I tell you the eyeballs. What's that? Babe, you see that? Oh. It was, look, I'm telling y'all, they made a decision. They went out. They had instant success. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what happens next. Just put a 1 in the chat if you know what happens next. Not about the day. There was no police involvement. Oh, and you can also tell all of us were really new to this. Now, most of us have been fishing. You got 7, 8 people on a boat. It's a decent sized boat. It's enough to seat everybody. But when you got 7 or 8 people in a boat in 4 feet of water, what tends to happen? Well, for those of you who don't know, let me just go ahead and tell you. The boat kept getting stuck in the mud. So our black behinds, me and 3 other fathers, me and 3 other spouses, we hopping off the boat into the water. Now, I had to be careful, y'all, because your boy ain't that tall. So I was scared I was going to jump off of there and jump into a hole. And I was going to disappear. But fortunately, that never happened. Shout out to me for being fearless. But we literally pushing the boat out of the mud holes. All these other, experienced boaters are driving by looking like, shouldn't have never gave you money. You don't know. When you haven't been exposed to certain things, you just don't know what's happening. And one of the guy who owned the boat, he was like, man, every time I get in this boat, man, I learn something new. He said, it ain't like being at home when you just get on the lake. He said, it's different out here. The rules are kind of the same, but the environment is different. So you always learning something. You can't be afraid to fail. He said, he's called me Mom. He said, Mom, you can't be afraid to fail, man. Bump these people, man. We learning. We figuring it out. I'm just like, facts, all facts. Come on, let's push this boat a little bit further. Oh, man. So they go to their next tournament. They catch a couple of fish, but they don't win. Then they go to the next tournament, the same year. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't catch a fish that tournament. And for the next 3 years, they went on an incredible drought. An incredible drought. And I mean, not just that at the coast. We were in Miami. We were in the Florida Keys. All up and down the East Coast. Not catching fish. To the point it was like we were asking ourselves, are some of these captains trying to keep us from winning? How is it possible that everybody else around us is catching in the same body of water that we're catching, but the places that our captain is taking us, they're dry? No fish in sight. Is this a conspiracy? A conspiracy. Is this what we're experiencing right now? Is this real life? Is this facts? And there's a saying in sports that winning cures problems. Winning hides flaws. You might make a couple of bad plays, but if you won, nobody's going to really harp on it too much. Because at the end of the day, you got the goal accomplished. And so year after year after year, it was dryness. It was long meetings. I mean, you had spots. They were featured in the New York Times. Big article in the New York Times about their accomplishment in little old North Carolina. Nationally syndicated radio shows. They were on the Today's Show, the Drew Barrymore Show. I think the Steve Harvey Morning Show. They were featured all over because they were doing something different. Something that none of them had ever really done at that level. They were learning on the fly. They won their first tournament, in all honesty, didn't even know how to fish. Didn't really know how to fish for real, but they won their first tournament. It was a happy time. But then for the next 3 years, it was, I just want to catch a fish. I just want to catch a fish. And with that, I don't think it's a far leap to say there was maybe a little infighting, a little frustration. Because you got 5 strong personalities together. All 5 talented in their own right, have their own skill sets. So now, just like we do in business, just like we do in teams, when I was playing football, if we were having a bad day and things weren't going right, I would stop focusing on my job sometimes and I look and see what other people are doing. And I realized, oh, he not doing his job. Hey, Randy, what are you doing? Shout out to Randy. What are you doing? Bruh, wrong gap. What's going on? But that's what happens, right? Losing exposes the flaws. And so now everybody can see what the other person isn't doing because now we're focused on what everybody's doing instead of focused on what we should be doing. And so coming into this tournament, I had this feeling. Every year, I can't say I had the feeling. Hold on, let me measure my words. Hold on. Let me measure my words real quick. What's the best way to say it? One of the husbands said this weekend, hey man, if y'all don't catch no fish, y'all Ubering back to the house. That was the sentiment because everybody was feeling it. It wasn't just me. All of us were feeling, yo, it's due season. It's time because once you put your dues in for so long, you know I done sowed these seeds. I done sowed these seeds. I done watered them. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Something has to grow. Something has to happen. Let's just say they didn't catch no Uber back. Something has to happen. There was the sponsor. They had this one sponsor. She was, bruh, let me tell you, she was a realtor in town. She gave us places to stay for free. She gave them money to put their logo on their fishing outfit, their fishing shirts. She was advertising. And there's this big landing there. Everybody come back by. When you catch a fish, you come by, and there's a bunch of crowd gathered around, and you hang your fish on this scale, and everybody get to say, ooh, and ah, and look how big this fish is. And then the person that's hosting the foundation, he would interview the people, and they would get a chance to give their shout outs, tell about their day. But this poor lady, she done invested in these girls, and and the one time they did catch fish, they ain't even come back to the dock. They didn't even come back to the dock because they were victims of their own success. They caught a fish that was longer than most of our bodies in this chat right now. And now they're catching regular fish. Fish still longer than my arm, but it's regular now. Victims of their own success. Because we learned, Bobby said, we didn't know. Exactly. Because when you first start doing something, you don't always know the rules. You don't always know the ins and outs or the expectations. And my baby, she gets so seasick. Oh, she gets seasick. One day they went out on a practice. She called me 2 hours later and said, babe, meet us back at the dock. I can't take it. I can't take it. I pulled up at the dock at the same time the boat was getting there. She got out the boat and kissed the pier. Oh, my baby gets sick. And that day she said, baby, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if my body designed to take this. I can't. Oh. And I looked at her and I listened. And in all my sincerity and all the love I had in my heart, I said, baby, in this family, we don't quit. You better throw it up or swallow it back down. We ain't quitting. No, I didn't quite say it like that. I was kind. I was loving. But I did let her know it's the battle that makes it all worth it in the end. It's the battle that gives you the fortitude. It gives you the confidence to keep going. Every stumbling block we have in our life, wrap it up, huh? Every stumbling block we have in our lives, every hurdle that we have to climb over, every difficult situation is in our path to make us stronger, to give us more fortitude, to give us more resiliency for the next thing that's coming. Because life is a series of failures. Life is a series of hard times. And so we ask ourselves, when is my due season going to happen? When are the happy times going to be? When am I going to realize all these things that we should have been realized? When? When are we going to see the fruits of our labor? That's the question that we often ask ourselves when we're going through tough times. That's the question. And I'm going to be as honest as I can in this moment. Without the hard times, without the challenging situations, you never get to experience the happy times, happy days. This fish is not as big as their very first fish. But this is called fishing for a reason. Out of all the boats, and there were 268 or 67 boats in that competition, the fish that they caught put them in 5th place. 5th place. So I want to say shout out to the Ebony Anglers for going out, for not quitting, for enduring the hard times, for making it through the trials and the tribulations, for going through all of their go-through. Because it was tough, y'all. It was tougher than I think most people could imagine in a lot of instances. However, they did it. They figured it out. They made it to a happy place. And so when we're asking ourselves, when is my happy time going to come? When am I going to see the results of everything that I've worked for, everything that I've been waiting for? When am I going to see those happy times? The answer is keep holding on. Due season is coming. And especially when we're talking about the pursuit of happiness. When we're talking about those spaces in life where we just feel like it was all worth it. When we feel like everything that we've gone through, it was all worth it. Now, they caught a total of 5 fish. Something like that. Let me see if I can find the clip when they were pulling into the dock, and see if I can get an actual picture of how this looks. I want y'all to see how these ladies were celebrated. Let me see. Let's go with it. Let's go back here.
All right.
My face off the screen. Oh, stop it.
I know they may be real broke.
Stop it.
They're real fashionable.
There you go.
All right.
Get one of them if
All
you
right,
can.
can I get Pat over here? No better than this. All right. Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
All right. Here's our great friends, the Ebony Anglers on board the Offshore Outlaw.
Very good, thank you.
Yes, sir. Welcome them again to Big Rock Landing. Great story. They won a king mackerel tournament here 5 or 6 years ago and started something that has really become a phenomenon. But a great group of ladies from right here in North Carolina.
So, excuse my shoddy videography work there, but I was pinned in between a bunch of people and I was trying to get a better angle, but there was no better angle because people kept getting in my way. But just imagine this. This dock was full of just people. and they came in for the first time to the dock. They were welcomed as celebrities. They came in, and they were doing a bunch of weigh-ins, so they didn't get to their weigh-in at that particular moment. And I'm really cautious of the video because some of it got music in some of these clips. So I think I've shown all that I can show without getting my hand slapped by YouTube. But there's a couple of pictures that I wanted to share with you, but for some reason, I can't seem to find them in my phone. But they caught about four or five fish. Baby caught a big barracuda. Big barracuda. That's the one I want to show y'all. But for some reason, I can't find it. And I took the picture. Anywho, they had a good time. A very good time. They were celebrated as they should have been celebrated. They experienced their due season, a happy moment, a happy time. And I'm super excited for them. And thank you guys for who actually celebrated as well. Oh yeah, they got two and a quarter mahi, a barracuda, and a king mackerel. But that's what due season looks like. That's what the happy time look like. That's what it looks like. You see, without the hard times, how do we experience the good times? Oh, that's why I took it with your phone. Okay, makes sense. I'm like, I got like 7, 8, 9, 10 pictures that doesn't disappeared on me. But okay, that makes way more sense now. Thank you for that clarification, because I was getting a little concerned. So was I hacked? And so today, and we're gonna have a show tomorrow, and I just wanted to kind of open up with this story of theirs. Since their inception, they have been doing a bunch of partnerships, which has allowed them to do camps, to travel, to have sponsors, to really make a difference in the lives of our children, black and brown children, who, she want people to see this picture. Black and brown children who may not have the exposure, who don't know that you shouldn't load up 8 people. And you know, black folk, we solid people. So it ain't a whole lot of small people that was on that boat. You know, not a bunch of 110, 120 pound people. You know, we all, girthy. And but if you have not been exposed to that kind of culture or lifestyle, then there's certain things that you don't know. You just don't know. And so they're exposing a lot of children, a lot of fathers, a lot of mothers. Cornbread fed. That's it, yo. Cornbread fed. And the exposure, it's amazing. Now, when I met my wife, had you told her she would have been doing something like this, she probably would have cussed you out, slapped you across the forehead, or walked off from you. But look what my baby out there doing now. Look at what she out here doing. Hold on, I want to get in the picture too. Hey, boo. Yeah, she out here doing the thing. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a lot of heartache, a lot of sickness, a lot of frustrations. But she stayed the course. And then look at that face. That's not the fake, I'm smiling because I want to look cute. That is, I did this. I did this. That's what it is. I did this. I've accomplished something that was hard. That's how it goes. Oh, speak for yourself, sir. I'm 109 pounds. Yes, baby. You are 109 pounds. I think we left a number out somewhere. 109.5. That's what it is. You're almost 110, girl. D-Rob says, so you ask, how can you enjoy the good times and the bad times? Oh, what was the quote? Okay, I got you. I don't remember exactly what the quote was right now because I just be talking sometime and stuff just be coming out and I don't always remember exactly what I said. However, I believe you were referring to something along the lines of how can you have good times without bad times? Something to that effect. Because if every day was a sunny day, do you really appreciate the sunny days? They're normal. They're average. But if you've never had to endure a trial, then you don't fully understand what it's like to have victory. The football team, D-Rob, that's 0-8. 0-8. And they have talent. They're not a bad team, but they're just not playing like a team. And then they got their rival, their cross-county rival, or their state rival. And for this one game, everybody gets on the same page. And they go out there and they beat the brakes off of this number one ranked squad. How much happiness do they feel in that moment? Have you ever experienced that in real life, D-Rock? How much joy and elation, relief does everybody on the squad feel? Now, they started out winning and they were supposed to win and they're winning. Yeah, they're happy. They feel good. They doing the thing. But it's not the same if you've never had to overcome something. If you was just great from day one and you never had a challenge, never had a hurdle, life would be miserable. It would be too easy. If you've never been poor, you can never fully appreciate being rich the second time. Because the first time you're going to blow it off. Because there ain't nothing like new rich, bro. When you first get money for the first time, oh, everything that you've ever wanted to buy, every place you've ever wanted to go, oh, you're going to blow a lot of money. And you're going to wake up one day thinking, where did it all go? And now the anxiety set in. Can I make it back? Can I do it again? If every day was a sunny day, then what is a sunny day? So the question I'm asking today is, how long or how much longer do I have to wait for my happy place? Because we're talking about the pursuit of happiness. The reason people are bitter sometimes is because they have unmet real expectations, or they haven't realized certain goals and dreams, and they get stuck in the mud. And there's nobody to help push that boat out the mud. They're stranded. They're in a bad place. Said, but she didn't quit. That's right. I wouldn't have violenced anybody. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, barracudas are really predatory fish. They are predators. They have really long, thick teeth. And when they bite something, it's bit. Ain't no question about it. It's like, what was that? Oh, no, your leg is gone. You know what it was. Barracudas are like baby or small sharks, but they're full grown. And that wasn't even a full grown one. That was still a kid. They get a little bigger than that. Oh, D-Rob says, my question is, excuse me, sir, My question is, how do you know if a move you're about to make is going to be the good times? You don't. That's part of life. That is a part of life. But what I can tell you this though, I can tell you this. Dear Officer, I'd be speechless. If you don't make the move, and this is not just your move, this is anybody's move. If you don't make the move, you got to understand, every time you come from one level to the next, it is not a straight walk. You on a mountain over here or a hill or whatever you're on, you got to go down and you got to be the new guy again, the new person again. Then you got to learn the company culture. You got to learn the policies. You got to learn how to move in the environment. You got to learn the pay structures, how to get promoted. Then you get back there again. That's the journey. But if you stay stuck here because you don't know what the next move is, well, then you have your reward. Because true indeed, if we're completely happy where we are, we're not trying to move anywhere. We're not looking for new opportunities. We are good. And there's a little clock on the inside of all of us that tells us when it may be time, this thing may have run its course. And if you stay longer than you should stay, misery will soon ensue. Hard times will come, even though you're in a place that you're comfortable and familiar. Baby girl. Shout out to my firstborn. What up, Miss Glover? How you doing, baby? Kay, what up, sis? Kay said, as someone who grew up with zero struggle, Kay says zero struggle. Shout out to Kay with no struggles. He said he's correct. I hate it here. This is not what I thought adulthood would be. All facts. All facts. That's how it is. You can't. It's hard to truly appreciate and become confident in who you are if there is no struggle. If everything is handled, and I tell this to a lot of single moms who are raising boys, you got to make that boy work. You got to make him earn it. You got to watch him go through the hard times. You can't enable the bad behavior, because if not, he'll be 30 years old still calling you for money. Hey, mom, I'm a little short on my light bill this month. Can you look out for your boy? And then don't want to pay her back. Because dad ain't doing that. What's wrong with your legs? You got a job, don't you? You better manage your money better. You better figure it out. Because there is no cavalry for dudes. There is no program that's going to put dudes in a better place. The dude ain't finna go get no Section 8 housing and some food stamps because he having a hard time. No, bro, it's a street corner and a soup kitchen. Maybe you can find a room to sleep in at night, but you better figure it out. And I try to tell single moms that's raising sons this, but it's just, I don't want my son to go, this is my baby. I can do what I want to do with my child. You are right. But what you doing is creating a man that you wouldn't even date. You creating a man that don't even qualify to your standard. Stop it, mama. Stop. You about to make somebody else's daughter miserable. Stop. But that's not why I'm here today. That's not why I'm here. That is not why I'm here today. Although, kind of is. If you are afraid to fail, if you are afraid to take a risk, if you are afraid to go through the misery that lives in the dark days, shout out to Diddy. If you are afraid to endure the hard times, Why do you think you deserve the good times? There's a price that we all must pay in life. There's a price. And the more lofty your dreams, your goals, and your ideas, the heavier the price. There was an old saying or quote or book or something that says, the bigger the rose, the harder the thorn. Meaning the bigger you dream, the more you want out of life, the more you got to pay into the system, the more you got to pay the piper. As my mom used to always say, if you dance to the music, you got to pay to the piper. Shout out to R. Kelly. Oh, man. Okay. But that's the way it is. Nothing in life is free, but hard times. D-Rob says, stuck in quicksand if I don't make the move. Exactly. Exactly. What Trump say? What do you black people have to lose? Your communities are crap. It's just good. Your schools suck. Oh man. Oh man. I need to stop shouting these people out there more. I'm shouting out the wrong people today. But it's all facts. You are where you are. You know you want more. Yes, there's a chance that this move might not be the move you thought it was. However, if you don't make the move, it's going to stop you from making your next move. It's going to stop you from having the strength and the fortitude to get through the next hurdle. And then when a little cousin or a little brother come along and be like, D-Rob, man, I don't know what to do, bro. I want to do this. He said, hey, man, I had a chance to do this and I didn't take it. And my life worked out all right. I mean, I'm still in the same job. I still live in the same place. I mean, I still make the same money. I mean, it's been 10 years, but I mean, I turned out okay. Just hold on, bro. You're going to be okay too. Nah, that's not a story you want to tell. You want to say, bruh, I had this move one time, bruh, changed my life. Whether it was good or bad, it changed my life. It helped me become who I was. I made a move. I learned. I moved on to a new thing. I made a move. I learned. I excelled in that thing. Then I moved on to a new thing. Because guess what? You are going to move regardless. Okay, wait. Unpopular opinion. Trump was kind of funny. Trump is hilarious. That dude is hilarious. Trump is like, he is like, you know how the voice in your head that say all the wrong stuff and you know not to actually let it come out your mouth? Trump is that voice. He is the wild stuff that we think. He truly is. And I think that's why so many people, they do love the idea of him. Because he speaks like I think. These other guys, you know, it's like I got to read a book to understand what they're saying. But he speaks like I think, so I'm going to rock with this guy. Whether he's a good leader or not, I don't care. The other ones weren't good either. But that's the journey of life. And because we don't understand that when we're going through it, because it hurts when we're going through the pain. Kay said, Bobby said, you're fired. Kay said, I gave the warning that it was unpopular. It ain't like you said he was a great president, Kay. It ain't like you said he was a great humanitarian, Kay. It ain't like he said he was a great American, Kay. You just said he was a kind of funny. His wife said, F them kids. Hey, you know what I'm saying? At least they're consistent. At least they are consistent. Oh, man. Hey, man, make sure y'all like, comment. If you hadn't already liked the channel, go ahead and do that now. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Because y'all know my notifications be random. And so some people don't know that I'm actually doing the show because they expect it to be at this time. And most times it's going to be at 7, but the day get a little mixed up because the last show was last Wednesday. Yesterday, I got some rest over the weekend, y'all. I feel so much better. Even though this week has been a crapshoot at work, but because I was able to rest my brain, I was able to make some really good decisions. And so there will be some changes going forward. I'll let y'all know sooner than later. But probably next 30 days, I'm going to start making some major changes. And because I had a rested mind, I could actually make a good choice. Now, mind you, I had to delay some gratification because some things I really wanted to do that I'm not going to do, I'm going to save it for later because some other things need to take priority. But that's adulting. And had I not gone through tough times, I wouldn't even understand what delayed gratification was. Had I not had to experience being without, being upside down, being flipped all around. I already know, boy, my mind. But anyway, I wouldn't have the confidence or the patience to do some of the things that I'm about to do, to either pull back on some things, cut some things, and go full blast another way, fully confident that I'm going to make it work. But it's only because I've been through the tough times. So let me ask y'all a question. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? I want some responses on this. What makes you happy? When you think of the term happy, when somebody asks you, what's a happy life for you? What is that? What does it look like? What does it feel like? I want to feel it. No, Diddy. I want to feel your words in the chat box. What makes you happy? What's that thing that when you see it, when you experience it, just like, man, I'm good. Let me give y'all a little music. I gotta get some more music too. But I like my music. What makes you happy? Happiness for me. I used to think if I had a job or if I made a certain amount of money that I would be happy. I used to believe that if I had certain clothing or cars or watches, if I could go to the club and get a booth and buy bottles and buy the bar, you know what I'm saying? If I could travel the world and see different cultures and experience different things, and if I could just get away from what I knew as normal, I thought that would make me happy. I truly believe that would make me happy. And so I'm not going to let the cat out the bag because I need to save it for tomorrow's show. But I am curious right now, in your life, what makes you happy? When you think of happy, what is it? What is happiness to you? And yeah, so that's going to be back-to-back shows. We going back to back. What makes you happy? Because I got a few more things that I want to talk about today, but I really don't have time because I got to go look at a vehicle this morning for the young gun. And tomorrow morning, we're going to try this driver's license thing one more time. And if he ain't got something this time, guess what? He going to have to get it when he turns 21. Ah, man, D-Rob says, what makes me happy is coaching. Building relationships with students and parents, knowing that this athlete can come to you. I like that. If it's relationships, future plans. Oh, knowing they can come to you if there's relationships, future plans, struggles. I got it. I got you, D-Rob. Auntie Canada says, happiness for me is doing something different, something that I have never experienced, something that scares me, but taking the risk to do it and being glad I took the risk. I make me happy first. Hey, that's unique. I like that answer. Kay says, being a doula makes me happy. I heard a father on social media say that watching a woman give birth is like seeing God, and he couldn't be more correct. I get to watch a life come into the world. Wow, I like that. D-Rock said, I tried on driving this truck. No, I got you. I got your meaning, bro. I appreciate it. I don't want you texting and driving either, bro. I don't want you texting and driving. I want you to be safe out there, because I'm still waiting. I'm waiting to get these sideline press passes or sideline passes from Coach D-Rob in the championship game. I'm ready. I'm waiting. Ready and waiting. So that's what we're going into tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is going to be a slightly different show. I might be a little bit more theatrical, if y'all can imagine that, because I want to go back into my story. Because somebody asked me the other day, they said, hey man, I ain't seen you in a while, how you been? I said, man, I'm good, man. He said, you look good, you look happy. I said, bruh, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my whole life. Now, I'm stressed out at work. A lot of moving pieces in my life. Just lost my pops. Going through with my mom as she's fighting this battle with cancer. And I have so many things in my life that they're not going the way I want it to go. So happiness isn't always getting the things that you want. It truly isn't. Because sometimes life gon' life, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's out of your control completely. But I'm happier now than I've ever been in my life. And I don't mean that as like, well, it could have been worse. No, I am legitimately happy. Legitimately. I wake up sometimes, I got a couple pains, and after I stretch it, I'm like, oh. And then this big smile come on my face. I take that deep breath and I look around. I look at wifey, drooling on the pillow. It's all right, my bad, boo. And I like, I'm a blessed man. I'm a blessed man. Truly am. And I'm happy. And I understand now why I'm happy. And so that's what we're going to get into tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to get into it. Because if I keep talking, I'm going to go a little bit further. I'm going to go a little further. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to shortcut the show. I don't want to cut it off at the knees. So shout out, man. Shout out to everybody that came in the space today. Those of you who made your presence known, I appreciate you. Glad to have you today. Those of you who did not make your presence known and that may watch us in the future if you're not watching right now, thank you for your presence into this space. Thank you for rocking with your boy. Shout out to the fam, though. My immediate fam in this morning motivation crew. Bobby, my number one. Appreciate you, bro. That chick, yo, always there supporting your boy. Look, I know if I'm having a bad run and I'm tired, my words can't come out, I know I can count on at least 3 to 4 people that's gonna be rocking with me regardless. Bobby gonna be number one, always. That chick, yo, Auntie Canada and D-Rob. Y'all 3? Y'all 4? Y'all don't know how much, yo. I look forward to seeing y'all name pop up. So thank you. Craig G, K, much love, much respect. I so appreciate you. Health Talk. Monique. Brick by Brick, Blaxican. Yo, Day One, Randy. I'm grateful, y'all. I'm happy, bro. I'm telling you. And it's not because life is going so amazing. It's because I'm surrounded by people like you all. Appreciate you, D-Rob. Craig G, that's my guy though. Oh man, a lot of things happening, a lot of things coming down the road that we're gonna do a lot more. Trust and believe. I just gotta get myself free of some other things, and then y'all gonna see some things, some really amazing things happen. I'm excited for it. Super excited for it. And I'm glad that you guys will be there with me on this journey. Harvest Church International. DL, my guy. So guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Click that notification bell. And that's how you know when I'm scheduled to go live. Because sometimes I might schedule it the minute before we going live. Anywho, don't forget to share this video with anyone who could use a little morning motivation. If you want to buy your boy some coffee, the link's at the top of the chat. Tomorrow, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Trust me on that one, on this one. Anywho, have an amazing day, family. Keep striving for greatness. Be kind to yourself. Love those that come across your path. Be who you're supposed to be. Peace.